Coach, Jonathan was able to get to the free throw line a lot, obviously, on Saturday. And I feel like maybe compared to what he did last year, that's something that he's been able to do a lot more this year. And it's kind of become a weapon for this team, especially late in games when things are close. How beneficial has that been for you guys?
Well, it's been huge for us. Two areas that we spent a lot of time with Jonathan in the offseason. Number one was our finishing around the basket. He's so explosive off the dribble. Wanted to see him really living in the paint and getting there. And you saw this weekend he shot 75% from two over the two games. And then with that comes more opportunities at the free throw line where he's such a great shooter there. So I thought he was really good. I mean, obviously didn't shoot the ball from three as well as he has this season. But because he shot 75% from two and 89 at the line and got there a lot, he averaged 28 a game. So another great weekend for him.
You played Jacksonville State on Thursday. Your first game against them, you all did not get off to a good start. What can you correct to make sure you get off to a good start Thursday?
Well, they whipped us for 28 minutes. They whipped us in the first game. I thought they played exceptionally well. They were ready to go and were really good defensively. We didn't play well, but we have to do a better job taking care of the ball. They were able to turn us over in the first half. It led to a lot of layups and dunks, big momentum plays, and so we'll have to do a much better job there of taking care of the ball. Can't let them get out in transition for those easy baskets that they got against us in the first matchup.
Since that game in Jacksonville State's big wins, they've been very effective offensively and defensively in their losses. They've really struggled. What have you seen in kind of that back and forth that JSU has been able to show in the last month?
I see a really good team, very good defensively, one of the top rebounding teams in the league. I think offensively they share the ball well. Last I checked, they lead the league in assist rate in conference games. So they share the ball, move it well offensively. Have great size up front, have an elite level point guard and Drumright. So I see a very talented team that's good at both ends of the floor.
Did you get any sort of specific takeaways from their Tennessee State loss, or did you just see a Tennessee State team that's been really hot right now?
Tennessee State just played better. Tennessee State's been playing well. It's two good teams, and Tennessee State was just they were fantastic on Saturday.
I'm not sure if you give out the most improved player award, but I feel like Breon, especially this season, has really stepped up his game, maybe not as far as numbers, but how active he's been, especially in the last couple games. Can you talk about what he's done this season to improve?
Last 2 weeks, he's been outstanding. He's really taken his game to another level, finishing plays around the goal. Just his overall activity level has been very good. He's playing with a lot of energy. One of his great strengths is his ability to quarterback our defense. He really sees everything out there on the floor. He's a good communicator at the defensive end. He's been a great help side defender for us. So he's playing with a lot of energy and a lot of confidence, and I'm happy for him, because it hasn't been easy for him at times this season, but he's just stayed the course and kept working, and I think now you're seeing that improvement that you talked about.
It seems like a lot of the moves we've seen him, especially in the paint, where when he's catching the ball down low in the post, he's been able to make a couple moves, something like Miller does, and make a basket, something that we didn't really see from him early in his career. How much that is attributed to maybe him working with the assistant coaches and really kind of just honing in on that?
Well, I think he's worked harder at it with Coach Kane in the practice facility and working at game speed, and he's starting to see some of the success of it. And he's made some really nice moves, some jump hooks, either hand, some up and under moves. The other thing he does a great job of ball screening and then rolling to the rim. And he has good hands on those rolls, and luckily we have some really good passers who are able to find him. And he's converting. I thought in the second half, some of the baskets he scored for us were huge on Saturday.
Address his steals. He had 6 last week. I mean, a lot of times there's big guys, they won't get 6 or 8 in a season.
Combination of effort and IQ, I think. Tremendous effort, really good IQ, understanding of the game, understanding of positioning, where he needs to be, and then great anticipation. So, really good defender. Neil, he has a really good feel for that end of the floor and how he needs to cover in ball screens. And he ended up with Terrell's foul trouble on Saturday. He guarded Jalen Henry, who's one of the top forwards in our league and did a nice job on them as well.
Coach, your top defensive rebounder, and we touched on this a little bit at the SIUE game, but John Morant, 20 defensive rebounds for your team last week. What is it about him that just makes him so capable of a defensive rebound?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things, Ed. Number one, he has great size for the position, at almost 6'4", long arms, really athletic. But he has great instincts. I mean, we've seen it all year, both ends of the floor. He just knows how to play, has a great feel for where the ball's going, and he chases it down. I think also as point guard, he's usually guarding the player who's responsible for getting back on defense for the opponent, which allows him to roam around a little bit on the glass. And then it's just effort. I mean, you got to put in the work. You want to be a great rebounder, you got to be willing to go chase the ball, and he's obviously very good at it. And I think the great thing about it, when he does get those defensive rebounds, it speeds up our transition attack. There's not an outlet pass that needs to be made. He can grab the rebound and run, and I think that's always good for us.
Maybe you can allude on this. Do you prefer that your point guards are able to rebound so that way they don't have to wait for a Terrell Miller or Breon St. Just or Anthony or whoever your big is to get that extra pass out in transition?
Well, I think it's very important. Your point guard needs to be a good rebounder, but usually you're talking 3.5, 4 a game or so. I mean, you're talking about a guy now over 25 games is, I believe, 6.5, 7 rebounds a game, which is incredible. So, no, I think it's important. I mean, for us, we've been a pretty solid rebounding team for the most part this season, and he's been a big part of that.
Talk about Byron Hawkins as well, 10.5 points a game last week, but I thought he made great decisions on when to shoot the three and when to take it inside.
Very good player, Neil. You see, I think from three now in league play is well over 40%, which enables us to spread the floor better and helps our spacing on the interior for guys like Terrell. But he's also very crafty off the dribble. He's one of those guys, he doesn't necessarily blow you away with his speed, but he just knows angles. He's just a good basketball player. And so excited for him, excited for our team because he's starting to get his confidence back and really playing well, both ends of the floor.
Have you pulled the three back a little bit on Terrell, or has he done that himself because he's been so efficient inside?
No, he's so good down there on the block, and there have been some teams who have done a good job, whether it was through double teams or fronting him in the post. It made it tougher on him down there. But no, if he's open from three, he's one of the best catch and shoot three-point shooters who's come through here in my time here. So love him shooting those, but also want him to have the proper balance of his high skill level down there on the block too.
No word this better than Ed did. You're entering this final stretch of the season. How important is it to finish strong, especially because these games are kind of what's gearing things up for the OVC tournament?
Well, I think it's obviously always important to finish strong, but it's more important that we stay focused, just like we have all season long. We talked about it after the game. Toughness, I think, is a big part of winning at this level, and for us, toughness is the ability to focus on the next most important thing, which right now is having a great practice today. We don't need to be thinking about games 2, 3, 4 weeks from now. We just need to be focused on our preparation for Jacksonville State. We still have a lot of work to do. We got to get better in all 3 phases of the game, and so I fully expect our guys to come in ready to practice today so we can get better moving forward.
How surreal is it for you guys that you're in your last 2 home games of your career?
It blew by. It felt like the season just started, actually, and now to look at it, we had our last 2 home games of the year. But it's been great. It's been a great year, and we're not done yet. Can't wait to see what's ahead.
It really haven't hit me yet. There's our last 2 home games. It probably won't hit me till after the day over with, and then I think back like I won't be able to play in this building no more. But it's been a great experience being here at Murray State for the past 2 years, and it really haven't hit me yet, so I don't know how it's gonna feel.
You guys both had pretty unique routes getting here. You, Terrell, very successful JUCO. You, 2 years at Tulane. Maybe just in y'all's thoughts, what brought y'all here in the first place to be a part of McMahon's program?
First, I committed on my visit. It was really the fans, and as y'all knew, my coach was James Kane. That's what really brought me here, and we had a good connection, and I just felt like that's where I wanted to be when I came on my visit.
What about for you, Jonathan?
It was just I wanted to be around a winning culture, and I felt like Murray State was a winning culture. And I had connections with Cam Payne and his dad, and they told me I shouldn't go to no other place. So it felt like I was at home when I came here.
Obviously, the season's not over yet, and like you said, Jonathan, there's a lot more you guys want to do. But considering what you guys did last year and the year that y'all had so far to this point, is it satisfying knowing that your senior year has been successful? Or do you consider it a success yet?
Me personally, I don't feel it as being a successful year for me, knowing it's my last year. I've never been to the NCAA tournament, and that's my goal, and I won't be satisfied until I'm able to achieve that goal. So.
Yeah, let's say I feel the same way. I just feel like I want to go to the NCAA tournament, and that's how my season will be a success. My last year of college, I never played in the NCAA tournament either, so that was my main goal coming into my last year.
Matt has talked to me about how you all are able to focus one game at a time. I realize that's cliche-ish, but do you ever look far ahead? Because if you do win 4 straight, you're at the very least co-champions, or are you able to focus just on the one game?
We're able to focus on the one game, but we know the bigger picture. Everybody knows the bigger picture, but I mean, we have to take care of business as well. So it's more on us than it is on anyone else. So we have to just stay focused and prepare ourselves for the next game, and that's what we're trying to do now.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way, just taking it one game at a time. And we know what our main goal is for this year, and that's the only way we're going to get it, taking it one game at a time and one practice at a time, trying to get better.